We're on a record in cause number 323250. The case is style of state of Texas versus Thomas Pulliam. Mr. Pulliam, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Pulliam?
Doing well in yourself.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Pulliam, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Gertz. And again, Mr. Gertz, good morning. How are you doing?
Great, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Gertz, this was not one of our approved trial weeks. And so therefore, you'd like to keep your case on the trial docket?
Yes, for now, Judge. Ms. Maxey has sent me a new offer yesterday in the case, but as you know, I was in trial next door all day yesterday, and I haven't gotten a chance to talk to Thomas about it, but I will before the next trial setting. But yes, I'd like to keep it on the trial docket for now.
Okay. Is it August 2nd? Okay, your trial date is going to be August the 2nd, 2021. Mr. Gertz, we will send you a notice of the trial date. And I think this is your only case. And so
Yes, Judge.
you'll be excused and you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Pulliam, we will give Mr. Pulliam his reset in court. And once you get reset in court, Mr. Pulliam, you'll be free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney and you have a blessed day. So stand over there on the X in front of the court coordinator.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Ready?
Yes. We're on a record in cause number 328734. And the case is styled the state of Texas versus Francisco Cazares. Mr. Cazares, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Cazares, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Cazares, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay, you may put your hand down. Mr. Cazares, the information in this case alleges that on or about June 2nd of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Cazares, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Cazares, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cazares, I have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Cazares, there are a set of initials on the line that says guilty. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, it looks like your signature is the same as your initials. I was just looking on the back page. That's your signature?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now when you put your initials, it should be FC.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, let me get this back to you. He can erase right here, just turn it back, erase his name, and he can put his initials right there. on the same
Also,
line.
could I ask the prosecutor to send me the discovery
They usually send it down.
list?
Oh, a discovery list? Yeah,
I'll print it to the court.
yeah, she's gonna print it over here. Okay. Okay, now, Mr. Gonzalez. Oh, gee. Let me just see, you could just erase that right there where it had, you know, you just scratch through it, just,
How do you?
the back is, the back of this here acts as an eraser.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, are these your, on State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor declared admonishment on page 2, on the line that says guilty, are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of the same document, Mr. Gonzalez, there's a signature above the line that says defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is a trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
There's one box that's checked at the top of this document. That box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the discovery certification?
Yes, Your Honor, I just sign right here. This is all the evidence that we've got.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, I have before me a document that is titled the discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gonzalez, is this your signature on the second line of this document?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I think you gotta put the cause number at the top. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now, Ms. Casares, prior to signing and initialing these documents that we just mentioned, did you read these documents?
Yes, I did.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what he went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Casares, State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted. Mr. Willard Hall, you've advised and counseled Mr. Casares. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, no, sir.
Mr. Casares, your attorney, Mr. Hall, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, he has.
Okay, now, Mr. Casares, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Casares, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 180 days to be probated over 1 year, a $500 fine, 60 hours community service, the DWI education program, drug and alcohol assessment, and an interlock.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Casares, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you would not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $452, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $952. You'll also be required to pay probation fees of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you'll be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, the total monthly installments, once everything is totaled up, the total monthly installments, that's how much you will pay per month, is $165. Would you be able to pay the $165 per month?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You will be required to attend the DWI education class, drug and alcohol assessment, and you'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, and you will also have to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Now, Mr. Casares, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
I do.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Casares, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you entered into with the state. Mr. Casares, you can stand on the X where your attorney is standing. You're gonna follow the instructions from our court clerk. Once she's finished giving you those instructions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Can you place your right thumb in the blue square?
I'm on the bond. The only time I got on the bond.
And sign that black box.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I was looking at our docket and we have Amanda Flowers that's on the docket for today. And it looks like she's in custody for a different case.
where? What document?
I think she's on my page 3. I'm not sure what.
Oh, she's at the bottom. Flowers. That's LeBlanc. And Mr. LeBlanc is here.
Did she say she's in custody?
Yeah.
Yes, it looks like she was arrested yesterday on a new charge.
I think that's that case here.
Pre-trial diversion.
Yeah, I picked that.
Okay.
You haven't been in any other trouble, have you?
No, no, not here.
Okay, she's in Jefferson County Correctional Facility.
You need to go.
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like she was booked in around 3:30 yesterday.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thanks. Would you please call Tiffany Zamora? Oh, she's calling. Okay, we're on the record in 2 cases. First case is cause number 326-496. The second case is cause number 327-174. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Tiffany Ashley Zamora. Ms. Zamora, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Zamora, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
That's good. Ms. Zamora, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Todd LeBlanc. Mr. LeBlanc, how are you doing?
Good, thank you, Judge.
Mr. LeBlanc, you have an announcement you'd like to make in Ms. Zamora's case?
Judge, I believe that she was on the jail run, month or so ago or something like that. I think she bonded out. I haven't had a chance to speak with her, and then it was reset to today.
Right.
So I'm gonna need a little time to.
Okay, how much time do you need?
A standard reset, whatever the court
Okay,
prefers.
okay, hold on, wait for your date.
June 23rd.
June 23rd? Okay, it's gonna be reset to June 23rd. Mr. LeBlanc, you can get your reset. And Ms. Zamora, you can get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
She needs to go. You want to sign for me, Mr. LeBlanc? This is for the more you can sign for her reset. If you decided if you want to do it close. You can put a count more. Or the 20 will be the next one. Make 20.
Okay, we'll be